I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
G'day, mate. You have the manners of a goat. And you smell like a donkey.
Yeah, wait a minute now. I got something to say, too.
You're short on ears and long on mouth.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
What was the question again, sir?
Not these guys.
The numbers all go to 11.
What we've got here is failure to mutate.
That doesn't make sense. Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Fucking hell, man.
Fucking stretch. Oh, every time, baby. Fucking,
Fucking consistent, man.
That's consistency for your ass.
Hey.
All we need is something to end the podcast on. Fucking done. Or something like that. But,
Fuck yo.
Stretch and Bobbito, bro.
Right.
Bruh. If you don't know who Stretch and Bobbito are,
Get the fuck out of here.
get the fuck out of here.
What do you mean?
Your shoes is long.
What
Get
types
the
of
fuck outta
fucking
here.
blood
All
coming
types of fucking blood coming out. Stretch and Bobbito, man, these two were pioneers in the
bro.
hip-hop radio fucking game, dude. Or just the hip-hop game of, like, how much they pushed the entire culture forward, man. Like, if it wasn't for these dudes, we wouldn't know of so many dudes, man.
They were like, it's like you said, it's hard to fucking explain, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
especially when you haven't written anything down.
Yeah.
But it's like they were.
They created basically a platform for rappers to get heard before they were famous.
Yeah, and it's like the biggest rappers you've ever heard of, man.
Yes,
Like
yes.
the best of the best.
The-
The goats.
The legit best of the best all came through this
Before they was something.
this college radio
Big,
station.
we're talking
man.
Biggies, Busters.
Yeah, like Biggie was in there in 91, bro.
16.
91 when he was 16. What's that? 4 years before Ready to Die came out. 4 years, bro.
16 years old, man.
Even there were a few dudes who were in there way before they were signed, man. Even like ODB was in there before he was signed.
He got signed from the station.
From there.
From someone listening to it.
I think, what was that?
They drove down there
can't
and
remember
said,
the
I
guy's
gotta. I hate the dude.
Yeah.
Just 'cause- see when he puts his
just the
headphones on, the fucking out of beat nod he's
Yeah,
got.
yeah. And I love how he's like, and then I heard that, he's like, and I signed.
And it
then
makes it, he's trying to
he's
sound
trying
like,
to be like, yeah, Old Dirty Bastard's big because of me.
No, man.
Old
You
Dirty's
just-
big because of Old Dirty.
I'm pretty sure someone else would have
Yeah.
signed him if you didn't.
Yeah, well, I think RZA had a big hand in why he's big. But
Yeah.
like Old Dirty's big because he's Old Dirty, dude. He's Dirty Ho, son. You can't fuck with Old Dirty.
Dirty hole getting low with the
Yeah, boy. Hey, son, unique, dude. But anyway, Stretch and Bobbito Radio That Changed Lives is basically the doco we're going to be covering today because
Yeah,
that
man.
is, dude, got to be one of my favorite docos of all time.
Man, when a mate showed it to me, he's like, oh, because he said he was at a friend's house and seen. He's like, I reckon my mate Quinny will like this.
So I was trying to think the other day where the fuck first got it.
So I got it from Tarrant, but he got it from someone. And then we were doing the course, man. And I remember fucking bringing it in, and that's when you were just fucking fiending on Dar's Effects.
Yeah,
Because I
alright.
still remember it, because my selling point was, I was like, bro, I got this doco, man. I reckon it's the fucking, I don't want to talk it up,
Yeah.
but I think it's the best hip-hop doco I've ever seen.
And that wasn't
And
an
you're like, yeah,
understatement.
sick. And I was like, bro, I think I handed you the USB, and I was like, dude, you just wait till you see the first dudes rapping. You're
Yeah.
gonna fucking flip your shit because it stars
Yeah,
effects in the
dude.
thing.
And
in
I'm
the
a
booth.
come again like this. Check it.
With the fucking
Yeah,
huge-
eeny meeny, none of y'all can see me,
Oh,
dude. That's sick.
man.
And because like we got that freestyle, like in audio version, it's so crazy to be like, dude, this is the exact footage that goes with that audio file. It's not just like them doing the same verse. This is the exact footage from that file. Just fucking pops my head.
What I was, because I watched
That's
it
the
last
exact
night.
thing, man.
I've watched it 100 times.
Yeah,
but
I watched it last night again.
I had no internet and
Why
shit,
the
so I was
fuck
like,
not?
put it back on.
Why the fuck not?
We're going to talk about this tomorrow. It's painful, man, to know that there's so much footage and shit that we don't have from there that's
Dude.
not even released.
Because where the fuck did all that footage come from,
Where's
man?
it-
Is
you
that
know-
just all at
And how
Bobbito's
come
house?
it's so crisp?
Yeah, dude, it is mind-blowing, eh?
I don't understand. It looks like it was shot with a 2020 camera.
Well, it's crazy that what's so cool is that they just had the idea to, like, whilst they were there at the time, pull out cameras and record shit that's going on.
Except for Biggie.
Except Biggie. They're like, we don't know what happened, man. Just no one recorded Biggie when he came in. No one. But these dudes, man, Stretch Armstrong and Bobbito Garcia.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Bobbito, anyway.
Bobbito, man.
2 B's in the middle of that
Yeah,
motherfucker,
right.
isn't there? They were like college students or whatever, eh? And they were they're like, man, we want to set up like a hip hop radio station.
This guy wants a hip hop radio.
And they were, yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, hey Tracy or whatever. This guy wants a hip hop show. But
from the campus studio.
no idea what fucking school it was or whatever.
But what, they're broadcasting from the campus.
From the
studio.
campus, and they said it was
It's not good quality.
No, it was from. They said the equipment hadn't been used in fucking like 20 years at least. Like
And
it
it
was,
only had a certain radius on
yeah,
it.
it was old school shit. So they're like, we had to go in there,
Let's
dust
kick your foot.
everything. Yeah, you did, man. You
Ooh,
playing down there,
this
son?
guy's-
What's your deal, dude?
Hey, it's lockdown, man.
Hey, it's lockdown, baby.
You got soft skin like lady.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
Fuck you.
Get his own cornbread. Forgot what I was saying. Oh, they ran it, yeah, just out of this. It was old school equipment, man. They said nothing fucking worked. Stretch said he had to like punch consoles sometimes just to make
Get
like
the signal
the
back.
left channel come back in or something like that. But they were just major hip hop fans and would just play anything they could find and loved of hip hop.
And the crazy thing about it too, man, is that not only did they host all the legends before they were legends, is the legends were fiending on this show.
Yes, they were listening.
They were taping it.
Yeah.
And selling dubs and shit.
Yeah,
at
like
school,
Busta Rhymes
and
said he's like,
I made money off
I
your
made money
shit.
off your tapes.
I ain't going front, B.
Yeah, one thing that cracked me out is when he's like, cause I hung
like
around a lot of
drugs.
dudes that was hustling. He's like, and I was too scared to get into that. He's like, so Stretch and Bob was my drugs, baby. Those narcotics.
But isn't it crazy? That's what they were fiending on,
Yeah,
man.
dude. Even like there was a few artists that said like Nas, and he's they're listening to one of his things. He's like, man, I wrote this shit listening to your show.
Q-Tip said
Yeah.
he wrote a lot of shit specifically that he thought would sound good on that show.
he said when he was helping Mobb Deep with like the infamous album, and when he was working on Nas's album too, he's like, when I was crafting the sound, he's like, I was basically like thinking of what's going to sound dope on Stretch and Bobbito. And that's wild.
That's crazy.
And then it's crazy to think that Stretch and Bobbito were doing that without any pay.
Yeah, man.
For like years upon years, and like Graveyard Shift being on, starting at like 1 a.m. till like 5 a.m., you know? So like hip hop heads had to stay up to listen to that shit, dude. Had to stay up.
Crazy, man.
That's wild as. And then you just watch just like infinite amounts of dudes come through your door, unknown, just like cats who can spit, and just watch them blow up into the biggest motherfuckers. Every time you turn your telly on, you're like, there's Jay-Z. Like, oh, fucking. Yeah, he was sitting across from me.
Yeah,
and
man.
Biggie and fucking.
Think how, because I was.
Raekwon was in here. And
one thing I was
Wu-Tang.
watching is like, I can't remember who was in there, but it was like, you know, some future legend. And, you know, he would have had a bit of hype around him at the time. There was a few, I can't remember who is in there, but the point I'm fucking making is how nonchalant Stretch and Bobbito
Dude, yes.
were.
Yeah.
And it's like, then I was thinking like, man, if you're like constantly just around, I mean, like, they had fucking Fat Joe and Big Pun go up in there, Wu-Tang, fucking Nas, Jay-Z. Like, when you watch the footage, they're not dick riding at all.
And
it's like they're so used of it.
Yes, and one thing...
Isn't that crazy? What a time.
Yeah, that's mind-blowing, because everyone's like that. And, you know, a lot of the people that are coming through there, like Fat Joe said, that was the first time anyone heard Pun.
Yep.
You know, so no one knows who Pun is. So you're not, this guy walks through the door, this giant motherfucker, and you're like, this guy's gonna rap. You're not like, oh, this is Big Pun. You've never heard the name Big Pun in your fucking life. You're like, oh, Fat Joe. You're like, yeah, I've heard the Fat Joe. He had that fucking, that Got a Flow Joe, or whatever. He had that album, that fucking single come out and shit. But he's brought this guy. I don't know who this guy is. And then he just starts busting raps, and you're like, what the actual fuck? Who is this?
Yeah, man.
And then 1 month later, you're like, his album comes. You're like, oh, this is the cat that was fucking up in here last weekend. So it's like, because like you said, you watch it, and it surprises me too. You're like, man, I'd be so timid around.
Yeah,
like, so many
man.
of
But
these
they're
guys.
like almost like.
I wouldn't be wanting to.
It's almost the other way around.
Yes, they're like yours.
They're like, oh shit, I'm up in the Stretch and
Exactly,
Bobbito thing,
yeah.
and they're like just fucking around
Yeah.
and
Well, that's one thing Busta Rhymes said
cutting
too.
them off and
When I think,
telling them to talk into the mic.
That's
and
one
shit.
thing he
You
says
want
to,
to rap
like-
in the mic, man?
and one
Like
thing he
the
says to like
buckshot.
buckshot, yeah, you're jumping all over the place, kid, man. He's like, fucking be still.
And what the assistant tried to like, like little cool stories, like the assistant tried to get fucking the Fugees up in there.
Yes.
And they're like, nah.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want the
Nah.
Fugees. But then I'm like, at what point has the Fugees' first album been at that point? I don't even know.
I'm not sure.
Or is Fugees just sort of a name that's going around? They've heard like a single or something.
I think so, because I remember the chick saying like, the Fugees owe it to Stretch and Bobbito.
Yeah.
For putting them on it, because they weren't really known at that stage.
So maybe their first album wasn't out at that point. Because I don't know, because so many people came in before they were big. But it's crazy because it's like if they were big, you'd be so timid around those names. But it's like they said, Jay-Z came in and, you know, he was pretty much just someone on the back of like Big L. He was coming in with Big L. It wasn't like we're pretty much just getting Jay-Z in. It's like the times you'd heard Jay-Z at that point was like he was in... I'm not sure if it came out before that, but like the Mike Geronimo album.
Yeah.
And, you know, he just like popped up in places. He wasn't like a hell prominent name or anything.
I remember he did a track with Big Daddy Kane and Ace on. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Old Dirty was Old Dirty.
Bingo. And that's when he had like a bald head and stuff like that.
Real ugly motherfucker.
yeah, he didn't look the same. He looked like he could have been in Onyx. I would have been like,
he did,
that dude's straight out of Onyx or something, man. But Attack of the Bald Heads. But man, it's just wild. But like you said, how the artists were so intimidated. Busta Rhymes said perfectly when he listened to Big L's one, and he's like, that's what everyone wanted to do when they went in there. He's like, that's what I wanted to, you wanted to have every punch. That's what you wanted to be so on point, man. He's like, when I went up there, he's like, I was intimidated because I was like, this is the shit. I'm
pretty sure he uses the word terrified.
Yeah, I was terrified. He's like, I can't fuck up here. This is where I have to shine. And like, that's wild. But then everyone else is just fucking up, making noises and shit. Fucking sick though, dude. It seems like such a crazy culture, man.
Right.
But I love how they also said that they were like gatekeepers.
Yeah, man.
Almost. Because like these days, any song gets out and gets put on the internet. When it's like back then, you had to be dope. There were literal gatekeepers to the shit of like gatekeepers of dopeness.
Yeah, man.
And they were like, if your shit's whack, it's not getting played on the fucking Stretch and Bobbito show.
One thing that cracked me up when I first seen the doco is at the start, because Terrence, I reckon you'll like this. So I put it on. And then when you see Stretch...
I reckon you'll like it.
And then when you see...
This could be up your alley.
And then when you see Stretch and Bobbito, you're like, who the fuck are these nerds?
Especially Stretch.
And you're like, no way these cunts are integral to fucking the golden era of hip-hop. But how wrong that statement is.
Because I'd heard the name Stretch Armstrong before, but just never knew who the fuck it was.
And then after I watched it and realised, hold on, some of my favourite remixes are fucking Stretch Armstrong. That's him.
And you're like, this is that
like,
guy.
Oh my god, that's that guy.
It's
like
that dude,
Jamal
man.
Fades Them All.
Yeah.
Some of the best remixes
Well,
ever,
even just
man.
like some of his beats, dude.
Bro, that's what I was getting to. I was segueing to like, how good is he? I think they mention it in there too. Like he says it. And they like someone shouts him out and he says, "Oh, I was always conscious of because they're like, how come you always pick like beats that just really suit you?
Yes.
Pick the perfect beat for Big L. He picked the
perfect."
And he's like, that was his thing. He was always trying to find the perfect beat for who was coming in.
Yeah, he's like, what beat is
match
gonna
the beat?
What beat is gonna make this person shine, basically?
Oh man, he's so good at it, dude.
Yeah, and it's
maybe one of the best.
Oh, I don't think there's anyone better because that's one thing that really annoys me.
What a natural talent to have.
Yeah, dude, that's an ear, bro.
That's an ear, bro.
That's an ear before you've even heard it. You've got the imagine it, you know what I'm saying? You haven't even pressed the beat and heard the guy rap on it. You're just like, this beat is going to make this guy fucking flip, dude. And even at the end when they're showing the concert and he fucking...
With Raekwon.
And he's like, yeah.
I didn't even know it'd go to that
I
beat.
didn't know that shit blended like that, son. And fucking...
It just proves right
He does the, Can It Be So Simple verse over
Shook
fucking
Ones.
Shook Ones, dude.
And it goes sick,
It
man.
goes wicked because I'm like, man, is that an acapella out there? Because sure it would be. That track needs to be put together, man.
Yeah, man.
Like that shit. I didn't even know that shit blended like that, son.
And that's Raekwon.
And that's Raekwon, man. Like that was just wild.
That's insane,
And I love how he says at one point when he's like Nas is in there and shit, and he's like he puts on a beat.
Yeah.
And then he's like he sees Nas like bobbing and shit, and then they're like, you didn't want to tell Nas it was your beat and shit. He's like, yeah, why the fuck would I do that, man? He's like then seeing Nas bobbing, Nas like, yo, whose beat is this, man? He's like, and that's when you jumped. He's like, that's my beat, man. That's my beat. I made that beat, bro. And then it flicks to Nas later. He's like, takes his headphones off. He's like, you still making beats, bro?
Beats, man.
I need some beats, dude.
Bro, yeah, you do, because
that beat that Nas spits over on that is so good, man. He does the verse from, it might be like Memory Lane or something.
Something like that.
Dude, that beat is just fine, bro. And there are certain beats that I've heard on like so many Stretch and Bobbito freestyles that I'm always like, what? Where is this beat from? I haven't heard it on a song. They could just be Stretch and Bobbito, like, or Stretch Armstrong beats.
Probably.
That aren't on, they're just fucking instrumental beats or whatever.
Like, a good example is the Jamal Fades Them All. I've never heard that beat anywhere.
No, dude, that's a gnarly
Anyone
as fuck
ever
beat.
use that beat ever? So I'm 100% sure that's his beat, man.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, how rough is that beat, dude? That's definitely a Stretch Armstrong beat, no doubt. That's just, it's so, like, gritty, grimy, like, it's insane. That's an insane beat. That
And it's
thumps.
such a
that's Jamal Fades Them All Stretch Armstrong remix. If you want to look that up,
that one, man.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. Fucking the contrast though between the dude and the beats, and at one point, like I'm talking Stretch Armstrong here, you even get to see like
This is a real tall, skinny as hell white dude. Man.
yeah, man, and you get to see his parents.
Oh, that's so. They're like Dutch or something, or like Polish. Or,
But they look so
Dude.
like fucking.
they're like high class,
you
wearing suits. She's got
know,
like pearls around
like
their
they're
fucking
into
neck.
opera,
Yeah.
man. These people.
I think he said his dad was a. Was his dad a jazz musician, or his dad was some sort of musician?
Oh, was that a Bobbito?
I know I think both their parents, because
Okay.
Bobbito's dad played, I think, xylophone or something like that in a
Okay.
jazz band, and then
Alright.
Stretch's dad did something, but that's how we played, because he played drums.
Yeah,
earlier,
that's
and that's
right.
how we had that rhythm, I guess. You
Yeah.
know, like
And but like you can tell like Stretch's parents are like he comes from a well-off good family.
Yeah, pretty good.
You know, and then they've just got this son. You know, that's just
Yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
You know how a kid rebels? It's
Yeah.
like the kid's just rebelled and found this underground music.
Yeah.
Because you see, like, it's cool. You see his parents, and then you see interviews of the early day Stretch, and he's in the car with his hat back. And he's
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about shit. He's like deep in it.
Yeah,
man.
that's
he's
so
like
cool.
fucking so entrenched.
But one thing he also did said is he said that his parents were like very forward thinking or whatever. They're like, they made me go out and hang out with all the other kids on the block. Like I wasn't allowed to just stay home and just do whatever.
Be
They
comfortable.
were like go out and hang out with people, and he's like, man, I was fucking like scared to hang out on some of these blocks, man. I got chased home as a kid. Shows a picture of him as a kid. Fuck, that would have been tough living there, bro. Holy fuck, man. Like, that's like a fucking cartoon character. Like, that was like an unbelievable
Just a stereotype.
Dude. Yeah, like missing a front tooth, just the biggest white, goofy fucking face, and like this puffy. Oh, it's just unbelievable, man. What are you doing, parents? Trim his hair at least.
Even Bobbito goes, I used to think you look kind of foolish back
Yeah,
then, man.
he's like, I still wanted to be your friend.
But I thought you look foolish.
He's like, somehow you had the hottest girlfriend, man. He's like, I don't know how
what the
fuck
fuck,
it
man?
worked,
Got something
dude.
special going on.
But yeah, that's cool. He's funny. He's like, they nicknamed me OJ at one point for like 3 months. He's like, 'cause I was just like ducking and
catch
diving, running away, man. No one could catch me, bro. I had to run home every day. It's funny as shit. But one thing I do love with like when you're hearing like the freestyles or whatever is whenever you hear Stretch Armstrong talk in the background, cracks me up. I think it just makes the thing so much better. Because you hear like Jamal or whatever, he's like, yeah, Fades Them All, about to do it. And then like Stretch is like, all right. Let's do it. You're like, yeah, man. Sick. Fucking kill it.
Fucking oh man, what I love about it too is like, cause I just admitted it, I was guilty of it when I first turned it on. Like, I judge the dudes by what they're looking like, and then like, there's so many people, you know, I was gonna say name then, but there's so many people that, you know, think like hip hop, you have to look a certain way, or you got to wear a certain clothes.
It's all about an image, yeah.
It's all image.
Or you have to live a certain lifestyle.
You have to live a certain life, but that's just not true. It's about music, man.
Yeah,
like, so, like, yeah, there's a lot of culture in that entrenched into it, but the thing that shines through your fucking headphones is the sound.
Is
You
sound.
don't get visuals, dude. It's
No.
not unless you're watching a film clip or something.
Unless you're watching a Cool G rap film clip.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking your eardrum. It's the vibration, man.
It's all about the sound.
It's the sound, dude. It doesn't
like-
really matter where you come from, what you look like. If you can
Yeah.
fucking represent that sound.
Fucking oh. And Stretch says something cool at one point. I think he says it's when they started to have like a bit of a departure from each other and the stuff they started to like.
Yeah,
when
that's
he's
funny.
like, he said Bobbito was getting hell like concerned with the content that people were saying in that. When Stretch is like, he's like, I'm not even really listening to it, man. He's like, it's all about. He's like, I was more beat centric. I was like, if this thing sounds good, he's like, I'd fucking lyrics are almost second nature to me. He's like, I just want it to sound good. He's like, and the things that sonically sounded good, he's like, often had very like non-PC agendas or topics, if you know what I'm saying. They were talking about, guns or bitches or whatever. He's like, but sonically, these beats are fucking nuts, dude. He's like, so they're going on rotation.
And Bobbito got stuck into the lyrics.
Yeah, but one thing that gets me is like, because sometimes that's just like a preference or whatever. But I love how Lord Sear was sitting there and he's like, Bobbito, he's like, listen. He's like, no.
No.
Listen to what he's saying. It's not good. I was like, see, so it must have been like a pretty, it wasn't just a preference in that.
Nah, he was getting some weird shit in the end.
And I wouldn't even say lyrical. It was just people that could like say lots of words.
Yeah.
It was like, but yeah,
really
different.
abstract.
But I really
abstract.
do like how they put the emphasis, and I think it's a big point too of what made the show probably drop off is the music.
Yeah, man.
Itself.
Yeah, because he said, because they went to Hot 97 about 97, 98, and they go, and a lot of people, because they address it in the doco, they say a lot of people attribute that to our downfall and like falling off and that. But he goes, for me, man, it was like I lost interest.
Loving the music,
because the music, man. He goes, I gotta put some blame on the music.
Yeah.
That's why the show ended off sucking.
Dude, if you got to fill 5 hours of fucking
because the
airtime,
music was starting to suck.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm struggling to fill.
And
this
I love
time
the
with
example
music I
they
like.
give. So when he's talking about it, they show like a Puff Daddy
Yeah.
Mace film clip.
Yeah.
Because I think we can all unite. Like, I think it's pretty fucking universal that everyone recognizes how whack Mace is.
Oh yeah, and Puffy. Surely.
But Mace is the pinnacle of whackness,
Just
man.
a pinnacle.
Of that bubblegum, plastic, fucking...
He's so wacky, ain't worth dissing.
It's all about the it's all about the film clip.
Yeah.
It's not even about your song shit. You
your
put
song
all your
shit,
effort
dude.
into looking good in the film clip.
Yeah. Yeah, your
Like,
song sucks,
put
bro.
effort into the song, man.
Yeah. But one thing like people need to do if you fucking like the hip hop stuff is like on YouTube there's just mad collections of like you can listen to the dudes freestyling from the show.
Yeah, man.
And fuck me, dude. A lot of it's before their albums too, so it's like rhymes from their first album or stuff like that. There's certain ones that are just mind blowing,
dude.
man.
I think there's one good do we have it? I think it's like an hour 40 solid. It's not broken up. So it's like how sometimes when you got to click on an album, it makes you play the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's about an hour 40 worth, man. And I think it is
Just freestyles?
Yeah, like and I think it's like had the title on it, Stretch and Bobbito Radio That Changed Lives, and then it's just all like an hour 40 worth of fucking.
Okay, yeah, you have to
rhymes,
send that
man.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll check that out.
So we don't have that.
No, we don't have that specific.
We got lots of Lucy's.
We got a lot of Lucy's, and we've got I got the 2 vinyls in there, which I guess was put together by Stretch and Bobbito. I don't know who else would have done it.
Man, that put me and you on a huge
dude. Yeah,
digging for ages.
Just went and spent money on like records. I was like, dude, I can get some of these on record that like they thought were the best. It's got some good ones on there. It's got some really fucking sick ones. And then there was ones on those records that I hadn't even heard on YouTube.
Okay,
which was cool, like the Scientific one.
Oh yeah, have you converted them?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
just lazy.
Cheers, man.
No, you good, bro.
That's cool. I'll just fucking show you the doco, man. You know,
nah, you good, bro.
Terrence said, "Mine." That's cool. I don't know.
Nah, it's so good, bro.
Wouldn't be interested anyway.
Hey, where'd your Stretch and Bobbito folder come from, dog? I came from my computer.
Yes, it did.
yes, it did. It turns out this is a mutual friendship.
Yes, it did. But then, like, back to the show, another cool thing he did, man, was like he would have like fucking Large Pro go up there with the SP.
Yeah, dude, that's cool.
1200, man, and plug it in and fucking let him fucking. And they're like, they ask like, they asked Large Pro, have you ever experienced that before? He's like,
done anything like that?
I don't think anyone.
Yeah.
He says a bit weird.
Yeah, he's like, no one was doing that.
No one was really doing that.
And then it goes to some other guy, and then he's like, what station do you know of? He's like, where they were making beats on the fly and getting dudes to like rhyme over
Rob
it.
Swift is saying that,
and, yeah, and then he's like, what station today is fucking doing that, man? He's like, this was revolutionary shit. And I love how, kind of bust a rhyme, someone says, they're like, man, he's like, and there was no limit to the shit. They're like, if you had bars, man, you would just let someone while out for fucking hours, man.
Uncensored too.
Yeah, they were like, bro, if you got bars, keep going, man.
keep
We'll
going.
keep switching up beats and shit. And it's so sick,
And if
man.
not, we're going to cut you off.
We're going to cut you off.
We're going to just talk you off the mic.
Yeah.
Which is cool too, man. It's like, yeah, you're a buster, but we don't give a fuck. That versus
Yeah,
whack.
yeah.
You know?
That versus whack, son. That's versus whack, son. And I love how dudes they say about Jay-Z at one point, because they weren't big. They're like, man, you told Jay-Z to sit in the lobby for fucking 3 hours, man. Jay-Z sat in the motherfucking lobby for 3 hours before he could spit. It's like, yeah, that's cool, man. Before anyone's big, man. And then it shows him afterwards when he's like, listened to his own tapes, and he's like, pretty good verses. And it's like, that's a departure from the guy who had to sit in the lobby for 3 hours or whatever and shit.
Yeah, man.
But I will say, I reckon that the Jay-Z verse on that is pretty good. Because I haven't personally listened to like extreme amounts of Jay-Z, because I'm not a huge fan. But some of his early ones,
I'm not a fan.
like that verse and In My Lifetime, that track is
I don't mind the evils. That's the only really
yeah,
one I
yeah.
fuck with.
I think In My Lifetime is was his first single, I think. But it just his voice sounds pretty similar to that one.
I just don't like I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's sort of like Kermit the Frog rapping or something. I don't know. I just don't like it, man. Yeah.
How does he do it?
Sugar. I'm just not a fan, man. I don't like Kanye West either.
Yeah.
But I can tolerate him more than Jay-Z for some
okay,
reason.
yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I'm not really sure.
I haven't heard too many of either.
Just my eardrum, man.
But yeah, no, he was never on like my greatest of all time list when he was for like a lot of other rappers. I'd always hear other rappers talk about him, and then I'd always be like,
Or a lot of my friends who didn't like
Okay.
hip hop,
Okay.
but they like Jay-Z and 50 Cent and shit.
And Beyonce
And I was like,
or something.
okay, yep, you don't like hip hop.
Oh, okay, there we
Yeah,
go.
confirmed you don't like
There
hip
we go. I've worked that out. But dude, everyone needs to check out this doco, dude.
What we've been searching for a long time is that reunion concept. We've never found the whole thing.
Now, there's parts of it online, all uploaded by the same guy.
Can anyone out there, please?
Yeah, because I don't know why you do a concert like that and not record it.
Fucking hell, dude. It's got Pharaoh Monch and everything.
Dude, it's got
OC.
a whole bunch of people, man. It's got a whole bunch. But I love how much of a deep dive you can go to just find these different freestyles and stuff from this show. You could even find just whole recordings of like individual episodes.
Oh, dude.
If you wanted to like, let's just listen to the episode from, like May 3rd, 1994 or something.
And then you got massive just freestyle sessions like with Souls of Mischief and shit.
Yes.
Hieroglyphics and all that going in there.
There's some that are so good, man, that have to be listened to, like the Mobb Deep one.
Man!
Is, for me, one of the most, one of the sickest ones.
Trife Life is one of my all-time favourite Mobb Deep songs, and that beat off the album. But the beat Stretch gave him for that, man.
Do you remember what beat it is?
I got something for your peoples, man. Oh, I can't remember
Nah, me
off the
either.
top of the head. I remember we found it before. And be like, oh, sick, that's that fucking beat he used.
Yeah, just some other shit.
Hey, because they're all talking. They've done about 10 minutes of fucking rhyming, and then they're all talking. Like we said, they're all nonchalant.
And this is
talking.
when they've put that beat on. So it's like just an outro beat they're going
Yeah,
up.
and then Stretch just pushed this outro beat on that they're talking over, and then like everyone's talking over everyone.
Prodigy
and then,
must be bobbing,
And then Bobbito's like, hey, what's up, Prod? Looks like you got something to say. You got something to say, man. I got something for y'all peoples, man.
Yeah, some other shit.
Got some other shit, man.
Fuck yeah.
And then just fucking bust that whole Trife Life first.
Yes, dude.
Oh,
it sounds so good to that beat. It sounds so good to that beat, man. Because I even reckon his first verse from the QU Hectic sounds wicked to me.
Yes, it does.
Like, it sounds so good to me, man. Like, I'm just fucking... That's sick. The Nas one is pretty good.
Yes. Does effects.
The Das Effects one is very good too, man. The way they bounce off each other by just flipping different verses and shit.
You know what my favourite one is? Off the Sable, say off the doco.
Yeah.
Not all the ones we've found that weren't on the doco. But off the doco, fucking, it's out of T. You know.
Well, I was about to mention another one next, and it could be one of these two.
But my very favourite is the OC.
Oh, okay, yes, fuck yeah, dude, that's
Not
nice.
the OC that starts the doco off, the OC when Large Pro takes his SP up into the studio.
Yes, dude.
Man.
Dude, how good is that? Because what is that verse from?
It's just for that.
It's just like a mixture of things for that. Because, yeah, that does blow my mind, especially because, like, there was times where I'm like, man, is that freestyle? Or is he freestyle pulling lines together that he's got and, like, literally constructing a verse from the top of his head?
I think because a lot of it's unrecognizable to me. It's like, and when when it's on, I know all the lyrics.
Same, yeah.
But it's not from anything.
But then he also says, because Large Pro raps, and then after it, he mentions that Large Pro just rapped before him. And I'm like, man, how many verses would you have where, you know, you mentioned like just happened to be straight? It sounds like that was just something he improvised. But then the line is so good. I'm like, that can't be improvised. Because what he says, he's like, let me show you how to work a verse. The mad scientist will first give the grammatical example, a sample of truth, soon to be a mega legacy for all of you. And I'm like, if that's off
the lyrical position is back black.
If that just like rolled off the fucking dome, dude.
But I reckon, and then you see, like, they give OC, because I like in the doco too, they fucking get these fucking OCs and Jay-Z's and shit, and they give them the headphones.
Yeah.
Listen to your verse you spat on the thing, and they're like, blowing their brains.
Yeah, I can't even remember spitting this.
But OC's like, man, I ain't even got it here anymore, man.
Yeah, that's all.
And then he goes, all I know, man, was I was so nervous, man. He goes, I didn't want to mess up in front of Large Pro, man.
Yeah, and he's like, and
he
Large Pro.
He didn't say Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
He specifically said Large
Yeah,
Pro.
yeah, fuck yeah.
So I reckon he must have practiced that fucking. That was
Yeah.
something he formulated for when they knew they were going to do
Must
it.
be.
Maybe
It
or
must
something.
be, man.
He's like, I want to fucking
'Cause
impress
it's
Large
so
Pro
good, dude.
because I want to get Large.
Yeah, and he's like, Large Pro just when he's like, I knew I had to fucking, like, I need to up this shit, dude. Let's fucking. Large Pro just killed it, man. And Large Pro sounds like it could have been off the top of the head.
Yeah.
But Large Pro's flow is so good to me. It's so perfected. Like, he's just a dude who has mastered his craft, man, in such a fucking crazy way. That guy just lives hip-hop to me, man. He walks around with a fucking SP-1200. Like,
in his head.
Just, like, in his head, and one on his shoulder, one under his other arm, and he's just like, let's make some beats, dude.
Mate, he just is an SP.
He's the fucking live guy with glasses, man. That motherfucker is sick, dude.
So, that's my favourite one.
Yeah.
What's your favourite one? Off of the doco.
Off of the doco? Jeez. Because that's like a top contender.
Because the number 2 is...
The Big L? Is that what you were going to say?
Ghostface.
Yeah, I was going to... Yeah, because Ghostface was where I was going to. But, because the Ghostface verse is crazy. But the whole freestyle, which is like... Maybe an 8 or 9 minute freestyle.
Crazy one, man. They don't show the whole thing. But...
So can we count the whole thing then? Or
yeah, we can count the whole thing.
Well, I reckon...
give a snippet.
I reckon that's my favourite then. Because that 8 minute thing, dude, Method Man and Ghostface back and forth is so good, dude. I've listened to it so many times.
The sick thing about it too is on the doco, you see, you don't get to see what we were just talking about, the 7 minutes that come before it. You just see Method Man do a little bit, and then that was supposed to be the end, and the beat keeps going. The beat switches. No, the beat keeps going, and you can tell that was going to be the end, and then Ghostface pulls out a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And he's like, something from the stash.
That little something.
He goes, hold on, I got something. I got something
stash.
from out the stash. And then he fucking finishes it with this little fucking secret rhyme he had.
Dude, but the beat, what is the beat that's on?
I can't remember.
Because that is a beat I like, and I can't remember if I've found...
We have found it.
We have?
We definitely have, man.
Because for ages, like some of my favourite Stretch and Bobbito freestyles are to this beat.
Yeah.
Like the Ghostface and Method Man's verse. Because in the doco, they don't show the actual verse that comes before that.
Nah.
It's cut up to where it's just like one of Method Man's middle verses from the thing. Because the beat switches in the actual freestyle. Like the first beat's going for ages. And then Method Man's like, yo, switch the beat up. And then he's like, let me finish this one rhyme. He's like, but switch the beat up. And then he does this rhyme. Then the beat switches. And then Method Man kicks this short rhyme that is so fucking awesome. And I haven't heard it on any tracks. I was just like, what is this? But then straight after that, that's when Ghostface pulls out his piece of paper and blows up the fucking spot, dude.
Oh, bro.
But just those two back and forth is just immensely good to me. I think that is what originally locked into me.
And the visuals on the doco are so sick with it too.
But that's the type of thing that makes me like almost put, like when we were talking about Wu-Tang that time, that makes me put Ghostface before Raekwon.
Yep.
Just because that shit is so insane to me, dude.
Yeah.
Who did it? Ghostface.
Yeah.
Like, it's just sick, dude.
In the
so
glass
many
box
repeats.
with no case.
Who did it?
Ghostface.
There's so many good ones in that. So many of Ghostface lines are sick. But Method Man, like the way he harmonizes that shit, it's just an insane freestyle, man. True MCs that could go in and rock shit live. That's what's baffling to me is any of these freestyles, any of these recordings you hear on YouTube, there's zero editing done.
Yeah.
It's just rocking, dudes playing a beat in their headphones and they're just busting verses, man. And you're like, these sound
that's
insane.
like, you know, what do the kids call it these days? Like one breath, one take or something.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's not.
Yeah.
You know, but this truly is.
Dude, and every line can punch wickedly.
This truly is live.
It just shows how,
It's live.
Well, you had to be able to do that back then, too. Like, you had to be able to... It's like someone says at one point, they're like, man, back then... I think it might have been actually Jay-Z that says it. But he's like, dude, before we got famous and anything like that, he's like, you had to have your best shit and everyone else had their best shit. It was like sparring matches when you went into this place, you know? So you had to, if you weren't good, you got beat, man, and you got left by the wayside. He's like, so we had to hone our craft so much. So the time we were big, he's like, we knew what the fuck to do. He's like, we had the fucking skills and talent to do the shit. And it's like, that's legit, like a rite of passage you have to go through. You have to literally train for it.
I love how they say, and this is all the fucking goats of today. They were saying, first you were nice in your street, then you were nice on the block, then you were nice in the park, and then
you got to get on Stretch and Bobbito.
Then you got to get on Stretch and Bobbito, man.
Dude, it reminds me of a similar way of like what Vocal Slender's doing.
Yeah.
And like, you know, he's like, I got to be good, get enough recognition in like the block. He's like, if my song gets big enough, I can get onto the local radio station. It's just such a grind and a hustle. But the craft was so different back then, and people had to be so good because everyone around you is insane. Everyone you listen to, you're like, oh, Fat Joe just walked out the building and Busta Rhymes is walking in after me. You're like, I have to spit some verse there. I can't come with no half-ass verses, man. Sean Price just walked out this motherfucker. And they got
I wish we had the video footage to that.
Dude. And they got Biggie walking in here tomorrow. They're like, so I have to do something good. Cool G Rap is in here next Tuesday. They're like, I have to... Yeah, everywhere you look, people are spitting just non-stop, like, just crushing bars. Like, just people are like... absolute at the peak of the craft. You know?
One thing that I just can't wrap my head around is like how it was so big and popular and like a rite of passage, but it only had a small radius on it.
What does that mean? You mean? What do you mean?
Like the show, like the radio 89 Tech 9 had a fucking, you know, it was so integral to a part of coming up.
Yep.
But it only had a small radius on the fucking broadcast. So how was all these, like, how was Redman tuning in? Because they're on the West Coast, aren't they? The Stretch and Bobbito.
No, they're on the East.
They're on the East?
Yeah.
Okay, so what was Cypress Hill saying?
Because he was saying, because they from the West, and they were basically saying, because when they won their award,
right.
They're like, we give our credit to winning the award to like New York DJs like Stretch Armstrong. Can't remember who the fuck else they said, but
he was one of them.
Yeah, he's like, to people like this. He's
there
like,
was only 3, and he was one of them.
Because if it wasn't for these East Coast DJs, like our music wouldn't get heard in the East. We're not getting radio play because of our marijuana topics. He's like, so if it wasn't for these dudes, he's like, we wouldn't be known in New York, you know, any of these places if it wasn't for those fucking dudes. And that's why they're like, that's why we're so big, because of these cats, because they were like, yeah, we'll fucking bump your shit.
But how are the cunts in the West Coast hearing it then?
It still made it over there. It was just like, I think it was like, fuck, you had to, like, you know how they were like, who was it, DJ Premier? Like, you had to do the R thing when you were like, when you were like tuning it in.
It reminds me.
You had to get this one tiny spot, man.
Do you remember the Ghetto Blaster days?
No, they weren't my days.
They weren't your days, and you had to fucking, like, you could move the aerial 1 millimeter this way and pick it up. You know what I mean? Like, obviously not 89 Tech 9, but, you know, that's how I remember searching. I mean, there's so much nostalgia in it. Because do you remember the tape days, man?
Well, even, like, I had tapes as a kid. They were, like, you know, but...
It transgressed pretty...
well, I'm different because I do own tapes. I went out and looked for tapes and bought, like, Tony Touch tapes.
But do you remember when that's when it all...
No.
Fucking... Do you remember, like... I remember Buster, he's saying, like... Man,
I cut the motherfucker.
Yeah, I'd get the fucking the knife.
I've
done the exact thing, man.
I love how passionate that guy is in whatever the fuck he says.
Yeah, man, he is.
And some people just say things, and he's like, I'm giving you a story on this. He's like, He's like, I put the knife, I turn it to the whole back busted open. It's like, you can be like, I just took it apart. And like, his whole thing like came apart. He's like, it's scotch tape.
and it cut that little bit.
I put the motherfucker back together and wound it up tight. It's like, fuck, this guy's passionate. I love it, dude.
Because I remember doing the exact same thing, taping the film back together, and also having like a real smashed up, cracked up case, transporting the roll to a fresh case. Going buying a fresh one, taking it out, fucking
surgically. Fucking.
Dude, and then put it in. Oh my god, it's working again! Woo! Fucking, because you didn't want to keep taping over it because you just lose quality every time. I remember fucking the tapes, man. That was the shit. But what was the radio? Fucking I couldn't understand how it. I love how his story about Redman.
Dude, that's the funniest, yeah.
And Redman's face.
Yeah, Reggie was over at my house. He was there for a long time. We smoked a lot of blunts.
Saying how wasted he was.
Yeah. He's like, he didn't ask, man. He just went to brush his teeth and he used the old Sneakers toothbrush. And then it shows his face and he's just like, wow, what up? Like, yeah, I do shit. I don't give a fuck, man.
Just love his face.
I'm Funk Dr. Spot, baby. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
I love too when we'll go back to the Method Man and that when the Wu-Tang first went up there and they weren't even signed or anything yet.
Yeah.
And fucking they like the chick's gone down there because you had to be on the list to get on the campus, and she's gone there. She's like, "There's 20 dudes, man. They've all got masks.
They're all got masks."
And then like Method Man,
she's like, "I remember Method Man specifically." She's like busting in
because she's asking, "Are you on the list?" Yeah, we on the list.
We all on the list. We coming in, this motherfucker.
And then he's like violated her and give her some lip or whatever, and fucking. Then Bobbito gets stuck into him. She complains to Bobbito. Then Bobbito's sort of like, "Come on, man, that's how people's and shit. Dude. If you're not on the list, you're not,
That's her job.
That's her job." Yeah. And then I love his apology. Oh, we got to apologize to the girl on the door. Had a little misunderstanding. Sorry, baby girl. That's from meth.
Yeah, and I love how like the beat's just going in the background. I just want to say that on the air. That little misunderstanding. It's my bad.
Sorry, baby.
She's like, I was still pissed, but
still hate him.
But dude, this is it's so crazy to me that I didn't live through any of this, and I watched this doco and get nostalgia.
Oh, bro,
how does that? I don't know how that happens, but it's just such a cool, like, it's everything I love, and it's just all put there in a little doco for you to watch.
One thing that I just got lost in my own thoughts last night watching it again was it says like Stretch goes through and says how he wanted to be a DJ or whatever.
Yeah,
and so I just wanted, like, was listening to some shit, wanted to be a DJ, and it's like, can you imagine what a time, like that's the universe just fucking, I don't even believe in airy fairy shit, but that's just like an incredible
woo-woo.
Like fucking woo-woo,
Oh yeah, chance of happen. Yeah,
I think I might be a DJ. I wouldn't mind giving DJ a go.
And you're just the best at it?
But not even the best at it. You're just in the time that you're in a time
You're the
period.
thing that needs to happen, basically.
You're the thing that needs to happen, but you're also in a time period where you're just surrounded.
That is perfect for it.
Perfect. Like, you couldn't pick a better time
I know
to
what you're saying.
Be a DJ.
Like, you could have the same skills today, but it's not as... It's not going to get you anywhere near as far. It doesn't have any, like...
don't have the roster.
Exactly. Like, back then, he was just, like...
But he's got the roster,
He was the perfect manifestation of what needed to happen at that time. He was in the perfect time. He had the perfect skills. It's so weird. I even think him being as white and goofy looking as he was helped him.
Yeah.
Because like he says at one point, they're like, what do you think of when people... because they stereotype him or on that sort of stuff. They're like, what do you say? He's like, I think it's great. He's like, because then when they hear me play, he's like, all their preconceptions are shattered violently. And then they're all just like, oh, sick. But even like heaps of like the actual hip hop dudes, they're like, man, when I first met this guy, even when he was just DJing before he was doing the Stretch and Bobbito, they're like, we connected so heavy, man, because we could just tell like this guy was down for the art of this stuff. He was about this shit. He was so interested in what was happening. It wasn't just like a party being, some people just be there because it's a party. It's a place to be.
Cool thing, dude.
Exactly. It's a place to be. What are you doing Friday night?
He's had a passion.
He's like, no, I'm digging through crates. I want to know how you're flipping that beat over there, how the snares. He's like, this guy just had a passion for it, man. And like,
And when
That's
you
so
see,
sick,
and
dude.
when you see his collection,
Oh, dude.
that just is 100% confirmed.
Yeah.
That fucking wall he's got,
It's
man.
a big wall, dude.
Dude.
It's sick.
Man, how much I would give
And
my
how
left
much
nut to be able
of
to
their
flick through
own
that.
money they would have been spending to get
All of it.
to get those records? And they were like, we'd try to hit up like
And they're
artists.
studying whatever they're studying.
Yeah,
at
I
the
was thinking
time.
about that, and I don't know how fucking crazy they were studying.
Yeah.
At least on Fridays and Thursdays,
Nah,
surely
man.
not at all.
Yeah, man.
But
Ghostface
they were like,
Boys.
we contact people and try to get like their demos before they were out, so we could like this would be the first place people would hear it and shit like that. And I love how because it's on so late, all the people who like listen to it and they're like, man, they're like. We called you, Lord Finesse says it, he's like, you were like the vampire show, man. Because you were for like vampire listeners and shit. And then like people saying, they're like, man, you'd sit there so early in the morning and hit record. He's like, and if you fell asleep, you just hope that like the tape deck popping when it like clicked and finished recording. He's like, would wake you up and you'd fucking flip the tape, put it back in. He's like, otherwise you fucking only had half the show.
There's one bit in there, Lord Finesse, man, and I reckon it's the most animated I've ever seen Lord Finesse. And he's like, you know, because I can't remember the whole, but he's like, you had to be up on your shit, man. 'cause he goes,
That's how animated he gets, bro. He's so chill.
He goes, you didn't want to be like someone coming, you know, bumping into someone. Did you hear that track? Stretch is pumping, man. Like he actually gets a bit. I've never seen him.
That's hilarious.
With that much energy ever.
Because even when you listen to the freestyle with him in Organized Confusion,
Yeah.
they're just talking at the start for ages, and they're asking him so many questions. And his answer to he's just like, nah, I'm chilling, man, I'm chilling. I'm just chilling, man, I'm chilling. And they're like, we heard you rock the fucking show the other night at like, and they say the venue. He's like, nah, I'm just chilling, man, just chilling, man. I rocked that with the help of Fat Joe and Big L. I'm just chilling, man, I'm chilling. It's like, fuck, dude. Guy's so like that. I'm just chilling, man, just kick some rhymes, chilling,
I'd love
man.
to know, like, I want to clock that motherfucker's heartbeat. Like,
Yeah.
How many?
One beat per day, I think. Just one beat a day.
You can't get any more fucking chill than that.
Yeah, man. Dude is on ice, man. Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah, man. Stretch and Bobbito, bro.
Stretch and Bobbito.
Fucking.
Radio that changed lives. If you got a VPN, I think you can watch it on Netflix.
Okay.
I think it might be available in some country. Check every country.
You can fucking download it from somewhere, man.
Yeah, you can get it,
Look,
bro.
if they're gonna not make the DVD available to buy, you know, readily,
Yeah.
then you download that shit.
Then you download.
You tell them we sent you, man.
Yeah, man.
I'll give you my VPN.
I'll give you my VPN. Just tell them, hey, look, Ghostface blew up the spot. And I need to hear it, dude.
Now, off of the show, what's your favourite?
Oh, dude, that's too hard.
That's too hard, isn't
That's
it?
way too hard. Because, like, there's some artifacts ones that I go back to that are pretty fucking dope, man. But I'd have to have a list in front of me and flick through them. The Jamal one is, like, wicked,
that's
too.
sick.
The Jamal one is
I love
good.
in the Jamal one too. Like it doesn't start off amazing because he's like, "Well, you know, I'll freestyle about anything." He's like, "Bitches," and then he's like,
And then it goes for a couple bars.
He goes for a couple bars, and then
he stops himself.
He stops himself and says, "This freestyle's falling off
Real quick,
man."
But then he's like, but you put me on the spot, Bobbito. He's that's real, man. I appreciate that. And then straight after, he's like, what kind of rhymes you want to hear? I got anything.
And then he fucking drops a sick one, man.
Yes, dude.
That is sick,
Which
bro.
goes for ages.
Goes for ages. Killer beat.
bro.
Because the beat comes in, he's talking, he goes,
Yes.
Is that genius?
He's like, is that Jizza? Yeah. Is
that
that genius? But I also love it when it's like it seemed like he'd never even listened to the fucking show because he's sitting there and like because the beat's playing for Asian, it's like they're waiting for him to rhyme and he's sort of just talking. He's
What do you
like,
want to talk about,
what do you want to
man?
do, man? He's like, and then Bobbito's like, he's like, well, the show's mainly beats and rhymes, man. He's like, oh, beats and rhymes, all right, man, all right. He's like, let's do that.
And I love how, and then after that he goes, you know, after his freestyle pulls up, he goes, man, I got an idea. He goes, we can just go back and forth talking and shit, and you can play some beat. If I feel something, I'll just come in. And it's like, that's what the show's supposed to be anyway.
So funny.
It's like, no.
What do you normally talk about?
And then Bobbito's like, you want to kick around and get up out of here, man.
He's like, I need some females. And they're like, okay, you gonna rhyme, man? Let's love it. Well, the show's mainly just beats and rhymes. Oh, beats and rhymes.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
That's fucking hilarious. What do you think it was, man? Where did you think he was, dude? He sounds like he's fucking high as shit. In that,
dude, man.
Fuck, it's so good. Though.
Another one I love is it's only short. I don't even know if we've got the whole thing, but and it goes back to saying, and I think this is the clip they show when they show how they say how like the talent that Stretch had for picking the beats for the artist, and it shows
the casual dude, yes, and cause that one is an actual freestyle dude. That one's off the dome like a motherfucker. It's so cool they have some footage for that.
Cash and you know Dale.
You know Cash and you know, but then the beat switches, dude.
He goes, ooh,
I love this track, so I'm gonna stick it in the ass. Cash has the blast. I just love the energy he gets the second it switches. That
dude.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Right.
It's just
because that is a sick beat,
dude.
Man.
But that whole thing, I think that's like an 8-minute freestyle in itself, man.
Yeah, we've got that, haven't we?
Yeah, we got that. But that's like 8 minutes in itself, and he's just going the whole time. The whole time, just freestyling, man. Hey, Casual is a beast, man.
Right.
A beast, bro.
They reckon.
Do you like Casual or Del more? They're different artists, I know. But they're from the same sort of camp. They're definitely from the same camp. Like, it's so hard to me, dude. But I think, like, especially when I see stuff like that, I'm like, fuck, man. I think I lean toward Casual a little bit. And he's got such an original. It's just fucking.
Okay, man. The only way I can answer it is.
Give me your answer.
For pure spitting. Casual.
Yeah, for Huck and Loogies.
But for like a library.
Yeah.
Like Del just has more.
Yeah, and he's got probably more content in his rhymes.
Way more. Like... But also I've seen him like interviewed before, and they say that Cash only has a pretty small thing because he was always in and out of jail.
Okay.
So
yeah,
that fucked him.
He seems like a dude who does not give a fuck.
So they reckon that's why he doesn't have a huge catalog.
Yeah, but dude, Fear itself, that is some shit,
bruh.
And the way he can freestyle like that—that's an MC, dude.
Yeah, man.
You can just put me on the spot and I'll bust rhymes, dude, and they will be good.
Well, I like how that's a cool question too, because it says, remember how I can't remember what the doco was, man. I think it was like a Souls of Mischief one or something.
We did watch a Souls of Mischief one. And it was the 20th anniversary, I think.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, fucking Cash, man, Cash. And then they're like, man,
dude,
Del.
Yes. This is when they were like hell young.
Hell young. They're like, man, Del kill anyone, man. And then they go get Del, and he comes down to battle fucking.
This is before they'd met.
Before they'd even met.
Dude, I remember that.
He comes down to battle Casual.
Because they said Casual came down and just ruined everyone. And then, I can't remember who it was. Someone's like, man, you just wait till Del gets here.
Wait till Del gets
My man
here,
Del's got rhymes, dude.
Yeah.
And then they came down. And I think they said they started spitting, but they didn't even really battle. They were both just like, bro, your shit is sick.
Like,
the other
let's
one's
do
like,
something.
Your shit is sick, dude. And it's like, fuck yeah.
Dick right.
That's how you form a group, bro. Let's be the fucking...
Come to battle.
Let's be the hieroglyphics. Fuck yeah, bro. But, yeah, Casual, man. That is like he's got some MC prowess or whatever you call it, man. That guy will just
he's just like a
stomp on him.
Man.
Like he'll eat up a track too, man. Like I think if you're not matching him on a track, you'll just get fucking pushed to the wayside.
Because anything he features on is normally always my favorite.
Yeah, and his energy is so wicked, man.
I think there's only one. I can't always forget the name of the song. Is it June Methane or?
Oh, Doing Methane?
Doing Methane, June Methane. Is it that one? It's one of them that's...
Or is it Heatish?
It might be Heatish. It's Heatish.
I think it's Heatish because I think I did the same thing.
That's the only one he's not the best one.
Yeah, because that starts with... who's that start with?
Opio?
Opio, Pep Love, and then it's Casual. And I'm the same. Because I like Casual on the Doing Methane one.
Yes, that's right.
I think he's kill on rhymes like a master Don in charge of the glass cages on.
These days or whatever.
Yeah. My follicle flows will swallow you whole.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a killer one.
But I think because Opio...
But I always love like, dude, sorry.
Opio and Pep just kill that, man.
Dude, like insanely.
That's the only one where Casual does not.
And like, because Pep Love,
supreme.
And Pep Love's a dude who like, whenever he comes on the track, I'm like, this is my favorite bit of the track.
Yeah, man.
But Opio fucking like, he's like, nah, I'm doing some Pep Love shit. I'm fucking. These are gonna be two great.
Yeah, that's probably
one
of my favorite Opio.
Dude, it's absolutely. That's a sick one, dude.
It's a sick one.
Fire swept through your dialect like the Oakland Hills.
And it's smoking still.
And everlasting.
Oh, that's overkill.
That's such a good one, dude.
Oh man!
But then the way after the chorus, it just folds into the pep love, dude. I'm an emphatic rap vatic. And you're like, holy shit, dude. That's insane. Especially with that beat. That's a nuts one.
Fuck, man.
That is nuts.
I love my last sort of thing about it is I love how fucking one of the staff is like because they're on a campus and shit. So, and they have KRS go up in there.
Yeah.
And he's talking about some British troops in Angola. And then, like, she goes back to school the next day and she's chatting with one of her professors and she's trying to represent hip-hop. She's like, it's knowledge. And all
you
this.
learn shit.
And he's talking about the British troops in Angola. And then her professor's like, the British were never in Angola. It was the Canadian.
Or the Spanish or some shit.
Or something. And then Stretch is like,
I love that bit.
You must learn. It's like, so he's so entrenched. That's like the most perfect thing to say.
That's the most perfect quote there is.
And only like, if you know, you know.
Yeah. If you know, and if you don't know, now you know.
You know, like, and if you don't know, you still don't know, man.
You still don't know, dude.
Because fucking that's what he
because that's some KRS stuff, yeah. You
It's
must
just so funny. He drops that perfect.
Yeah, that's so good, man. It's so good.
But then I start thinking, nah, your professor's wrong. I can't help it.
No, I guarantee, because I was thinking about that, KRS-One would have some deeper thing that he'd tell you. He'd be like, well, the Spanish troops originally came from, and the military leader was an English guy. So, and he'd do some sort of shit like that, and you'd be like, okay, you're right, KRS.
They were there.
With all your technicalities, you win, buddy. You win. And the Freemasons, I'll be right there.
Buckle.
Killer, man. But one thing I'd love to check is if Stretch is still making beats, dude.
Hey.
Come on, Stretch. Or is there like just a collection of his beats?
I reckon that would be more likely, because I would almost say I'm going to answer for Stretch, man.
Let's do it.
I don't think he would be making beats because of the same reason why he fell out of love with it in the first place, because the quality's dropped off.
Yeah.
Like, I think he would have to have some Lord Finesses pop up, come around, like new Lord Finesses, and be like, okay, I might make a beat for this dude.
Yeah.
I just don't think there'd be anyone that would be inspiring. Maybe do it here and there.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say
I'd just say, just for his own enjoyment or whatever. Or like, this shit sucks, I'm going to go make something good. But one thing we do have to do is just look up his catalogue to see if you can get like
just instrumentals.
Yes, from his stuff, man. Because some of them are so good.
Why have we never done that?
I can't tell you that. It's a secret.
Next episode.
Next time on Poorly Formulated.
And fucking
the Bobbito and the Stretch, man.
So if you notice a theme at the start, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
If fucking notice a theme, just fucking let us know.
Fucking anything reoccurs.
You can't.
Yeah. yeah. Fucking, I'm gonna go listen to some Stretch and Bobbito freestyles, dude. I gotta listen to that the boot camp click one, dude. That boot camp click one, bro. Sean Price spits 2 verses in it that go for about 20 seconds or so. And they're so good. And the Rock's first one, top dog at the end, that's a really sick one.
I'm telling you, I'd almost suck a dick for the footage of that, man.
Dude.
Not $1 million, not 20 million.
Not a big one. Just
even grainy ass footage, man.
Yeah.
Could be black and white, dog.
Black and white, man.
Fucking smart. Oh, lick the ball and everything.
Even just someone animate it for me.
Cup the ball.
Tickle your shit.
For the footage.
I'd even take someone animate it. Someone make it animate Sean Price rapping that shit for me. I'll just take that at this point. Give me a.
But can I just? How do you have any answers of why is the footage they have so clear? It's shot on 90s.
Well, it still looks like a bit
cameras.
grainy. It looks like 90s sort of footage to me, but I reckon they've just chucked it through like the modern day filters and shit.
Okay.
Because they can do crazy shit. You know how they took like all that World War II footage and made it in color and shit?
Have they?
Yeah, so like you can. It actually looks fucking insane, dude. It's worth a watch one time. Never watched it myself, saying that. I've only seen clips, never seen the whole thing. Definitely worth a watch, everyone else except me. But It's like they took all this old like World War II or World War One. I think they did it with both, maybe. All this old black and white footage, and they went through and like colored it somehow in like the colors that everything would be, and it is surreal to watch, man. It like you're like whoa, because whenever you see black and white things, it's hard to just put yourself in that image or whatever, or like relate to it so much. When you see this shit in color, dude, you're like, holy fuck, this is just like it adds such another fucking dimension to
perspective,
dude. It's wild.
Because that's really...
So that makes me think that they could do that with, like, fucking, footage of Das Effect, surely.
Well, that's crazy, because, we'll get going because of rain. But fucking, there's been one popping up for me lately on YouTube, and it's like the 1950s New York in color. Have you seen that? I haven't clicked... It keeps popping up.
No, but it must be the exact same type of thing.
What you're just saying.
It must be the same type of thing.
And I was like... Oh, I'll check that out.
Yeah, we'll check that out. But if you got the Netflix,
see what this bitch is fucking.
You still got the Netflix,
colors.
yeah?
Yeah.
I think those World War things are on there.
Oh, sick.
It'd be worth flicking through one time because it's just like, man, fucking even how they did this is just wild as shit. And you see everyone sitting there with like a pack of smokes and fucking. I actually have seen some old footage, I think, be put into color because I remember being blown away. Or maybe this is just from the World War II thing. It's like cameras mustn't be like hell new, and like everyone is just like. So amazed to see that, like, whenever the camera goes past them, everyone's like...
It's like a fad.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, the camera's here, It's like everyone's fucking, like, sort of showboating a little bit for the camera.
Remember with,
it's just like, whoa, this fucking
with photos,
cameras,
that
man.
used to be the thing with photos, man.
It's just funny to see how, like, intrigued everyone is with the camera, Because it's like, obviously, this footage, man, this thing's going to be shown somewhere. It's just like a hell... newer phenomenon, a lot of novelty to it, sort of shit.
I just thought of a skit, it'd be funny, man. So, like back in the day, how they far lap that now will never win. They got the funny talk, the way they talk.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Imagine if you convert the video to color and then they just, hey, yo, what's up, pops?
Yeah. The second you convert it, what's up, dog?
What's up, dog?
Hey, man, we got some people to shoot. We're gonna raid the motherfucking beach, dog. Got Nazis and shit coming down.
Because there's a distinct way they talk, though.
Yes, but I think a lot of that...
Is the recording...
And, well, from movies and stuff, it was like, I think it was almost like a fake accent that they literally created for movies and stuff like that. Like, I don't think people walked around in their daily life and they were like,
But you watch the news clips and everything.
There's so many people, and every time, and you hit a home run out the park. And the boys selling papers on the corner, and things are the way they should be. Tune in.
That's the voice.
That's the voice. I think this might not be right. It's called like the transatlantic accent or something like that. But I think it was something that was sort of developed through Hollywood, and then like I guess a lot of other people copied it. But from what I remember, people saying there was like one girl or something like that that did actually have that voice and talked like that. So I'm not sure if everyone sort of took it from her back in the day or whatever. But I always think that it's so weird. It's got to be to do with I think
culture.
It just sounds better and cooler sort of thing. It's like this weird fucking, they're like, okay, that's how presenters sound. You know how they used to be like radio voices? It'd be like, DJ time, we're here to let's rock it, call in if you got something funny to say. It was just like a voice. You're like, oh, that's how radios have to fucking
60 minutes of funk, boy.
60 minutes of fucking funk Master Flex coming out. It was just like, oh, that's how I have to fucking sound or whatever. I think, but I don't know if that's exactly true. And like, microphones add like a, there's no low tones in there, so it's all like a way tinnier fucking. Yeah. That adds a fucking obviously an effect and that sort of shit too. But I love that fucking accent though.
Yeah, it's just like I can never like pinpoint the time or when it.
Yeah, what is this? Yeah. Because I always used to think that. Why did everyone just sound so fucking, see?
Yeah,
like
see,
back
you'll
then.
never get me, see?
Yeah, you'll never get me.
I got a smoke machine, see?
Stick 'em, boys.
Last thing about the doco is, because you just reminded me then, is, and I thought fucking had to be, is when they pull, the person who pulls Stretch aside and says, you're the DJ, you got to talk.
Yeah.
Who is it? Fucking Funk Master Flex.
Funk Master Flex.
And it's like, Stretch should have turned around and said, well, you need to stop talking.
Stop talking, bro.
On your records,
man. How many records you be ruining,
You're
dude?
just ruining them, dude.
No one wants to hear you in the background.
Hey, I hear your point, but stop talking over the rappers, man.
Let them do the
Let
thing.
the
We're here
MCs
to hear them.
You play the fucking beat.
Scratch in the background. In the background.
And you shut the fuck up.
Yeah, don't scratch the vocals.
But I thought that's just such a a funny fucking thing. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it had to be him. He was the
And he's
one.
notoriously known for having
No, just
for fucking up tracks.
Fucking just shut up.
Yeah, dude. Shut
All
up.
DJs out there, shut up.
Why are you starting the track again?
Stop rewinding it.
Stop reminding
Fucking
it,
the
man.
verse up.
I've heard the same start of the track 5 times.
The
I wanna hear it
dude
again.
wrote the rhyme in a specific sequence because it sounds the best in that
Yeah,
sequence.
he didn't write the first line 5 times.
He doesn't want you to rewind it. Trust me.
He doesn't want that.
You wouldn't want that, would
No,
you?
I wouldn't.
Like,
You're fucking up my
You're
track.
fucking my flow up, dude.
Yeah, like, how are you going to
And then
take...
you're talking over my punchlines.
And how are you going to have the audacity to take, like, a Big L verse and be like, this is going to sound better if I fucking...
How?
I can make this better.
In what fucking universe?
Yeah.
What's going through your head?
Yeah, I can make this a little bit better.
No, you
No, dude.
No, you can't.
You can't.
You're
bro.
not Big L, dude.
You're not Big L. Big L couldn't make it better. Big L said that was the best.
That's
one.
the best
That's how it came out.
combination
Yeah.
of words.
That's the words, bro. That's the best. That's the fucking. That's how it does
That's
it.
the sequence.
That's the words.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes. There is nothing better.
I love-
Otherwise, I would have done it.
I love when Stephen Wright comes out for his comedy sets. Sometimes when he plays a song, he goes, "Okay, now I'll play a song." It goes, it doesn't go something like this. It goes exactly like this. It goes a little something like this.
I think Carl Barron used to say something like that too. It's fucking. He's like, "What do they ever say?" And it goes exactly like this. What are you guessing? You don't know how it sounds.
Yeah, stop fucking with the tracks,
Stop
DJs,
fucking with the
man.
track,
Don't
man.
fuck with the track, man.
Fuck, man. But yeah, Stretch and Bobbito.
Go do it.
Go do it, dude.
And if you fucking can send us some fucking obscure links from some fucking dark web
Yeah.
corners of the dark web,
the
of
footage
some
of that-
footage of some shit,
The 20th anniversary concert.
or the concert, man. Woo!
Yeah, boy.
You heard my offer.
Yeah.
I will cup
You
the
heard
bowl.
my offer. If you're a cup lover,
It
this is the fucking offer for you.
could be a little toothy. I've never done it before.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we'll try to get it done quick.
I'm willing. I want to get it done quick. I'm
But
hoping
that's also up to you. So
it better be quick. No batting on the day.
no, yeah, cool. You gotta build up.
Build that shit up. man.
Build up, man. Show
I
some
want
respect,
Super
motherfucker.
sensitive. So
We want wind blows to be fucking you up, dude. Shut the door too hard. Fuck that shit up. Sick, dude.
come my pants.
Hey, what the fuck?
Go do it, motherfuckers.
Go do it, dudes,
No.
and then fucking have your head pop with some crazy fucking shit.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Bang bang.
Bang bang.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.